channel. I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, any kind of genre of romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. Happy Friday! I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I've been reading a lot of second chance romances recently, and I thought it would be a good time to do a second chance romance recommendation video. Whispers of You by Catherine Cowles. We follow Ren and Halt. They are high school sweethearts, and Ren is waiting for Halt at home alone, and there is a burglary. Ren gets badly injured. There has been burglaries going around town. These group of people are hurting people in town, and Ren gets badly injured. Halt finds her, and he takes her to the hospital. And after Ren is healed, Halt he leaves town because he can't deal with the guilt of not being there for Ren when Ren needed him the most. It's years later. He runs a security company. He goes back to their hometown because his father had a heart attack. Ren sees Halt again, and Halt wants her back. He wants a second chance because he has never forgot about Ren. He just felt super guilty for not being there. But Ren is hesitant to give Halt a chance. And then while Halt is there, we find out that the people who were big victims of the burglaries are dying one by one from that incident. So Halt is like, "You're not going anywhere without me." It's their second chance romance. Not only does Halt have to make amends with Ren, Halt has to make amends with his family. Someday by Willow Asher. It's the second book in the Landmark Mountain series. And here we follow Sophie and Theo. Sophie and Theo are high school sweethearts, childhood friends. They've been going to the same school since elementary school, and they thought they were going to spend the rest of their lives together. But senior year, Sophie leaves Theo a note saying she's not satisfied with small town life anymore, and she just ghosts him without another word. And Theo, for the first couple of years, tries to find Sophie, but he asks people in town, but they keep saying nobody has heard from her since then. 8 years later, Sophie comes back to town. Her horse is really sick, and she needs the help of the veterinarian in town. And the veterinarian in town happens to be Theo. He does treat her horse, but Theo wants answers to why Sophie left him. And the reason why Sophie left is a very good reason. It was so heartbreaking what Sophie went through. And when Theo found out the reason why she left, he just utterly is broken. and he accepts her with open arms, but there's still a lingering fear that Sophie will leave him again, even though he knows the reason why she left in the first place. Trigger warnings for domestic abuse. And it was just so good. I loved this one so much. Between Never and Forever by Britt Benson. Here we follow Levi and Seb. Levi and Seb come from very different backgrounds. Levi is the preacher's son, and Seb is the girl from the other side of the tracks. Her mother has a bad reputation in town, and that reputation transferred on to Seb. One day, Levi sees bruises on Seb's body, and Seb tells Levi about her home situation, and Levi tries to convince Seb to tell people what's going on in her mother's home, but Seb did not want to do that. So Levi ends up telling his mother about Seb's situation, and she ends up in a worse home than she was originally. So Seb decides to leave town, run away basically, and not before she says goodbye to Levi. They share their first kiss with each other. Levi's mother witnesses that, and she punishes him because of purity culture. It's in that moment that Levi starts to question his faith and his parents' beliefs. Seb and Levi were 15 at the time. Fast forward 3 years later, they're 18, and they meet again in Florida, where Levi is in college for architecture and Seb is working at a bar. They have to separate again because Seb's music career with her band is taking off, and Levi has to go back home because of a situation. They separate again. They don't meet again until they're 26 years old. Seb just got a role as the leading actress in a movie shooting in their hometown, so she has to go back to their hometown, and Levi is a single father. Levi's daughter is a very big fan of Seb's band, so they're in forced proximity because of Levi's daughter. Forgive or Forget Me. I read this book because of Jen from the Book Refuge, and here we have Milo and Olivia. Milo comes to live with Olivia's family because Milo's mother and Olivia's mom are best friends. Milo's mother ends up passing away, though he lives with them. And Milo and Olivia form a friendship, and they eventually turn into a romantic relationship. But when Olivia's mother is diagnosed with cancer and she dies, trigger warnings for that, trigger warnings for loss of a loved one. Milo leaves Olivia to deal with everything herself, and she never heard from Milo again. And years later, Olivia is a doctor. She is treating Milo's dad because Milo's dad became like a father figure to her when everybody leaves her. Milo's dad is the only person that kind of stuck around, and Milo comes back to town because he demands to know why Olivia is treating his father after she knows what his father did to after she knows that he does not have a good relationship with his father. But there's something about how his mother dies that Milo doesn't know, and he also doesn't know that Sophie has other secrets Sophie refuses to tell because she doesn't know if Milo will stick around. They have to tell each other the things they don't want to tell them, the things that they don't want to tell each other. And I love this book. I love the side characters. I love Mac and Olivia's relationship. But the hero I didn't like so much, but the writing in this book is beautiful. Next, I read an ALC of Transcendental by Persephone Autumn, and it's a love after loss romance. We follow Fletcher, who's a musician, and Madeline, who is a widower. They both meet at this retreat. They spend time together in each other's company, but because Madeline is recently a widow, she feels guilty for enjoying another man's company because her husband died. So she leaves the retreat, and Fletcher, with no note. It's 1 year later. They happen to meet by coincidence at a restaurant. Madeline tells Theo the reason why she was there at the retreat, and it's Theo just being there for Madeline because he knows he wants like a romantic relationship with Madeline, but he's going to wait for her until she's emotionally prepared to get into a relationship again because he knows she's a widower. And I liked it. It was very emotional. I got the arc because of Tori and Jess. They have a company called Forever and Always PR, and it's Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. And I know nothing about this book, but it's the Ravaged by Romance pick for the month. Ravaged by Romance is run by Just a Piece of Book and Lacey from Lacey's Book Lovers. And all I know about this, it's the heroine who breaks the hero's heart, and the hero is a florist, and that's all I know about it, and I really want to read it. Those are all my recommendations for second chance romances. Please let me know if you have any recommendations. Link my previous second chance romance recommendation video down below in the description. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me. And I'll see you on Monday. Bye.